So I switched back to the dark side. There, I said it. Although the Note 20 Ultra was an amazing phone, there are some things that I missed about the iOS side. Things like iMessage and the fluid software experience, the top-notch build quality, the consistent high quality camera performance. There's more to it, so let's go over some of the things that I missed. This year, the new iPhone had a bit of a refresh. This time, the sides are completely flat. It reminds me of the iPhone 4 or 5, and it feels absolutely premium still. It weighs about the same as last year as well, with the larger 6.7-inch display, while maintaining the same size from the last year's 11 Pro Max. The 12 Pro Max is the only mainstream device that uses stainless steel for their railings, which is a more premium look and feel to the device. I love the feeling, and while this is true, the same sides do transfer more heat easily compared to last year's model, which you would say is a good thing, but it's just something that I noticed. Even though this is the case, the width of the phone is nearly identical, which makes it great for holding, and I prefer this over the Pebble look that we've had for the last 6 years now. Back of the phone looks identical with the major addition of MagSafe. You can charge with MagSafe, but I still prefer cable Qi charging. I think once there's enough accessories, I'll likely switch over completely, but until then, I'll wait. I don't really use the Lightning port other than charging, so currently I'm using the most limited 3.0 system with its magnets instead, as well as the Pitaka Mag Easy case, the larger 6.7-inch size up from the 6.5 last year, which makes the Face ID slightly smaller. It seems like the rubber buffer that meets the chassis and the screen is gone, so the bezels feel a little bit tinier compared to the 11 Pro Max of last year. And meanwhile, the late camera bump of the 12 Pro Max is slightly larger surface area along with the new LiDAR sensor there. Unfortunately, the software doesn't seem to take full advantage of the new sensor just yet. Only an AR application does it seem to get the most use. Generally though, Face ID is the part I missed about iOS, believe it or not. Face ID I still think is pretty much the best and most consistent way to unlock your phone. I really don't think there was any upgrades to Face ID this year. However, the overall software experience on iOS 14 has been bug-free and smooth. Some of the new stuff I'm interested in, specifically the native Apple RAW, that's really cool. It's an interesting take. It's Apple's attempt to giving you something better than just the raw data. And I do find that computational photography is the future and it's a good step in the right direction. If you want me to make a video about this, let me know by liking this video and commenting down below. The battery this year is actually smaller than last year's by a few hundred milliamps. Still get good battery life, but to say that I'm a little sad is an understatement. The phone is slightly thinner, so I wonder if that has to do with it. Regardless, it's the attention to detail that Apple tends to bring to the table, like the ability to check your battery health, and this is only possible because Apple designed the hardware to be able to read the battery capacity at the hardware level. No other company has done this as far as I'm aware, and I really wish other companies would. And I also wish that the reverse duality charging feature is available on iPhone, because then I can charge my AirPods or maybe Apple Watch in the future. We'll see. Now, Apple this year had improved well in their camera tech from last year. The big upgrade this time is that the main sensor is quite a bit larger, which means also better low light performance, and it really does show. The ability on the 12 Pro Max specifically to zoom in optically further than any other iPhone is great as well. I will say other phones in the market can zoom further. I haven't found the need to use zoom all that much, so it's sort of a mixed bag, if you will. Still, the biggest difference with the iPhone is, in fact, the implementation. It's as if you're using a single zoom lens with a calibrated color profile as you zoom in and out within the camera app. Things like the ability to see outside of the frame and using the ultra-wide lens. Things like the ability to see outside of the frame using the ultra-wide lens is something no other company has since copied, or the ability to switch through all three lenses while recording specifically. I will say other phones are getting better with the experience, but iPhone's still a head and shoulders above in video in every single category. Perhaps one day there will be the ability to make a true variable lens instead of having multiple prime lenses, but until then, this is probably the best implementation. So what do I think? I think the iPhones these days is still the gold standard. If you think about all the things Apple does for the phone experience, no other company, maybe except Samsung, can compare to. Apple gives you the latest and greatest internal specs versus, for example, the S21 line. You can see that there are corners cut on the base model, whereas the iPhone mini or the iPhone 12 this year pretty much has the best specs that you can ask for. Everything's good. The only difference there is the cameras. They don't give you the zoom lens, but that's it. If you're not about the frills and thrills about having all the post-purchase support like Apple Care, the stores, extended software updates, the 12 series isn't really going to change your mind. If you're using an iPhone 10 or earlier, this really is the time to upgrade. You get the fastest iPhone ever with the best design iPhone ever. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.